What's happening, world? Quan here. I'm back. Little short video. Got a question. Somebody asked me and bring it to the table. Is weed a gateway drug? Uh-oh. I'm gonna go and tell you my personal experience. After much deliberation, I think I'm gonna say weed was a gateway drug for me. Obviously, this is just personal preference. What I say is right doesn't make it right. What you say is wrong doesn't make it wrong, vice versa, and all in between. Was weed a gateway drug for me? I believe so. Is weed a gateway drug for others? Absolutely not. Uh, it all depends. Weed was a gateway drug for me, and I say this because, from my experience, I didn't think it was at first. Now that I'm in recovery, I feel like it was. Usually, first off, the first drug everybody usually tries is weed. The first thing we usually get our hands on, first thing we usually experiment with is weed. I feel like weed was a gateway drug for me is because maybe I have an addictive personality. I don't know. But obviously I went down a long road of drug use, right? But I feel like for some kids, especially your situations you're in, your age, the area you're in, the people you're around, all that plays into effect. All that factors in, man. Yeah, depending on the age you try it, where you're at, who you're with, the area you're in, the area you live in. All those situations take in effect, and all those little things have factor in. I factor them in, right? First example, weed opened me up to being sneaky and doing little deals, being sneaky, meeting people, keeping it from my parents, hiding it from the people around me, doing drug deals. Put me in sketchy places, put me around sketchy people, and yeah, I wasn't the innocent buying weed from other little high school dudes. Nothing. I was in full blown trap houses. I was in full blown trap houses with other drugs and with a grown men selling this kid weed. A lot of people my age know, but new age kids probably don't know. This is back when you did Reggie and Mid. Yeah, this is way back in the day. Yeah, way back, 2007, 2008, stuff like that. But yeah, it opened me up to meeting people. It opened me up to doing it and hiding it from my mom, hiding it from people around me that looked bad, look down on weed. I'm from North Carolina. I'm from the Bible Belt, from the South, old school. Still a lot of people think weed's bad. My mom's good lady. She raised up in church and all this stuff. She didn't agree with weed, and I understand now. Now that I'm grown, I understand it. So yeah, weed opened me up to meeting people, being in sketchy places, being real sketchy people. Like I said, a lot of people, if they start, going out buying weed, who's to say that they can't get introduced to something else, Who's to say that weed dealer can't say, hey, have you ever tried this? Especially being young and, your brain's not developing, you're experimenting thing, you're experimenting and you got friends around you and y'all want to experiment. And it only takes one person to try, especially if somebody give you something for free, show you how to do it. You like doing it, now you're on another drug. Simple as that. I understand how people say, "Oh, it's not a gateway drug." Probably not a gateway drug for you. Understand it. That's right. Totally right. In your experience, it's not. My experience, weed was a gateway drug. The whole fact of the euphoria and the being high and all that stuff. And I feel like if you've got an addictive personality, or if your situation is right, it can lead to certain things, man. So there's another question that says, if you find out your kid smokes weed, what do you do? I'm gonna try to stop my kid from smoking weed. Well, I won't say stop, but I'm definitely gonna talk to them. I'm gonna talk to them as much as I can, and because I want my children I want to be an open book. I want them to believe and trust that they can come to me with anything, and hopefully I can handle it the right way or handle it accordingly. But yeah, back on the subject, weed, gateway drug. For me, weed was a gateway drug. I know for many, many other people that it's not. I know people who just smoke weed. They've only ever smoked weed. They smoke weed to this day, and their life is, their life's normal. They're not out here hooked on on meth. I got people who smoke weed today. They've never tried another drug. Weed is them. They smoke weed. You know, it relaxes them. It gets them through the day. Whatever the case you do, smoke weed. That's that. We've all seen the little stories where there's someone with with a disease or with something wrong with them. The drugs, the pills, the medicines don't really help. They start smoking weed, and it helps. You know, I seen a video of, I think this guy had Parkinson's. I don't know if it was true or not, but I don't know if it was real or not. But they showed him after he smoked weed, and it helped him out. And you know, I don't really think weed's a bad thing. I don't even care if somebody smokes weed. I still say if you can claim that you're sober and still smoke weed. Actually came out here to California and I heard the term Cali sober, and that makes sense. But I don't think weed's bad. I do feel like weed can open you up to other things, especially the younger community, especially if you experiment. If you're wanting to experiment, even if you're not wanting to experiment, and it just opens your minds up. Like I said, if it's a car full of young people and they meet somebody, they buy their weed, and then this guy's like, hey, you know, have you ever tried this? Somebody out the group tries it, they like it, they don't die, they don't overdose, nothing happens, they don't have a bad experience, and that's how you can start doing other drugs. Prime example. So weed isn't a gateway drug for some. Weed was a gateway drug for me, and it took me a long time to realize that. And that's that. So just quick video. Is weed a gateway drug? Was weed a gateway drug for you or anybody you know? And that's that, man. I'm out of here. Peace.